Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Shoots and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Shoots and Ladders Backlash recap. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hey friends, it's Desiree Josen.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and run right through the recap of this PLE. What was your initial thoughts, Des?
Well, it was super quick. Only 5 matches, but we were done in 2.5 hours, so the night flew by. You know, it wasn't terrible, but I'm sure we have our opinions on this, so let's do it.
Absolutely. My IT is the same thing. Super fast. It's funny. We talked about how there wasn't, like, the PLE felt rushed to begin with, and it's like kind of ironic and almost funny that the actual PLE was pretty fast too. So
yeah.
All right, first match, Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. What are your thoughts on this match?
I actually liked it. I liked it a lot. I like all 4 of them anyway, and everyone had their own spots, and we had a lot of surprises in this. So we got to see Solo come out and the debut of Jeff Cobb from New Japan, and so that was fun. The reaction from Jacob Fatu was exactly what I thought it would be, like, don't ruin my time, and it really threw him off. But another big thing that I liked was the spot with Damian and Drew. Those two just make me laugh so hard, and they're like 2 big kids going at it with each other. But the spot where they were in the crowd and he basically choke slammed him through the table, what we didn't see was Damian almost lost a tooth, or did lose a tooth, and Drew's head missed the table and hit the cement floor. So he was under evaluation after that. So hopefully nothing bad was happening to them. But overall, we called it. We knew Jacob was going to retain. So I thought this was a really solid match. It was one of my favorites of the night. So I'm going to give it an A.
Sounds good. Yes, I'll give it an A as well. What's really cool about having a four-way match is the fact that, like, there's no real losers. Especially with that type of firepower in the ring. Now definitely it was some fun surprises, but yeah, A all around. I'm sure there's going to be spin-off angles from this match alone. All right. Next match, we got Lyra versus Becky Lynch for the IC title. I think I got this one right.
You did. You definitely did. And this was an okay match to me. I appreciated that they gave Lyra a lot of the spotlight and a lot of the power, because you would assume that Becky, being the vet and being the heel, would have a lot of control. So I'm glad that Lyra countered a lot of what she did, and it shocked me. And towards the end, I was like, I kind of hope that Lyra does win instead of Becky. And Becky just having those tantrums and then slamming her head, and then after she got pinned, had another tantrum with officials coming out. And I was like, just go away, girl. So, it was decent. It was a pretty good match. I'll give it like a B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B as well. I kind of called this from the get-go that Becky didn't need the IC title to be put over. She's way over, going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. I had a feeling that she was going to go full heel. So that actually didn't surprise me. I'm sure she's going to do more surprise jumping other women and kind of going that route to kind of draw some more heat. But yeah, we'll see how this angle goes. All right, next match, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. This was pretty fun. What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. When I first heard that they confirmed the match, I was like, okay, this should be okay. But of course, the crowd loves Penta, and I really love his entrance music. Yeah. Every time I hear it, I'm like, I need to put that on a playlist. And And with Dom, let me tell you, I think this was by far his best match he's had. And I was really impressed with him. And I was like, damn it. You know what? Am I really starting to like Dom? And he's really earning his title. And he matched a lot of Penta's energy and was a high flyer. And what I loved was that spot where he went through the ropes for the suicide dive and then turned that into a DDT on the floor. It was amazing. It was so great. But we also got some more surprises with that. So we got to see some of the Judgment Day guys coming out, trying to interfere, but they got caught. But our guy, Americano Grande or whatever, came out and did whatever he was supposed to do. But of course, Dom retained, which I'm really happy that he is. And that's just going to push Penta even more to prove himself. But it was a really good match. I liked it. I'm giving it an A.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll give it an A as well. I'm actually with you. I think this is Dom's best match in his short career so far. This is going to continue just to elevate him. Yeah, I would say overall, Penta kind of is... Penta's obviously over. He's going to continue to be put over. So this is... I thought this was a very good match, and it wouldn't surprise me if they fought the next PLE.
Nope. Yep.
All right, next match. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This is interesting, but I will say, I will give Pat McAfee credit. The fact that he pulled those moonsaults off, that is something I did not expect. So,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on this match?
Everyone came into this match knowing this will not be a 5-star match. But it was actually really good and entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's just because Pat is already athletic anyway, and he's such a great fan. So you're always kind of cheering him on because he's secretly living a dream that we all have, is just to get in the ring, especially with a PLE and with Gunther. But I loved how Gunther came in mocking him and patted him on the head just to go on now, young man. And it just fired Pat up. And what was really cool was to see Pat, he's a kicker in football. And, he was kicking and super kicking and punting. And I was like, do it. Let's go. And of course, Michael Cole comes in, just like we said, he was going to go in there and show face a little bit, but it was fun. And what I love about Gunther is bad as some people don't really like him, and he makes such a great heel. He is so respectful to his opponents and basically gave his respects to Pat for going out there and going head to head with him. So I appreciate that with him being a good sport. And it wasn't the best thing we've ever seen, but you know what? I'm going to give it a C+, B- kind of deal.
Yeah, I'll be a little nicer. I'll go B-. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It wasn't the best match, but we already knew that anyway. There was actually a point in the match where I thought Pat McAfee was going to win when Michael Cole held his leg, and I was
when he held his leg after the second pin.
Yeah, I actually thought that would have been a brilliant move to kind of further the angle, but I think this is a one and done thing, which is fine. Obviously, Pat McAfee's awesome on the mic, but yeah, I'm going to go B-, but yeah, it was good overall.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. All right, last and definitely least for the second PLE in a row. John Cena versus Randy Orton. Yeah, I kind of dropped my tone because that's how the actual match was reflected. It went from a pretty good overall PLE, and it kind of just dropped down a little level because of this match. But what do you have to say?
I will say that it was way better than the WrestleMania match that Cena had. So he moved a little bit quicker, a little bit more fluid. Not the best we've seen him, but I get it. He's really trying to irritate us, and he said he wants to ruin wrestling, and he's doing a really damn good job at it. And thankfully, Randy is in the ring to make him look good, and I just loved it. It was Randy's hometown. The crowd was hot. And I love how they do that 10, 15 second silence when he's about to come out and hear his entrance music. And I just get giddy. But there was some really fun spots. They feed off the crowd a lot of the time. And I loved how they hit the attitude adjustment and the RKO at the same time. That was kind of like a wink at one of their past table matches, which I really liked. Of course, Cena's going to mock Randy, and the RKOs out of nowhere. Those are always great to watch. It it was just in the very beginning, I was like, we know what's going to happen. Do not get aggravated. But towards the end, I was like, can Randy just win this one? But we know how it's going to turn out. And then with R-Truth coming out and ruining that punt, I was like, I'm going to punt you. And I don't know. I get what they're doing, and it's just making me so mad as a fan, but I don't like it. And I felt like it could have been a lot better. And I'm like, I really hope this is not their last match because they deserve something way better than that. So I don't know. I'm going to give it like a B.
Okay.
It could be better.
B for better, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be way more harsh.
Yeah, you
okay. So all this match was them doing the finishes to each other a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You lose your value in doing so. The point of the finisher is to knock out the opponent, get the pin, and get out of there. I kind of understood what they're going for, but not really. I don't think John Cena is a good heel at all. I think he feeds way better off the crowd as a face. That's how he gets motivated. That's how he gets fired up. He's just moving way too slow. One thing I will say, and I specifically remember it was one of the Bella twins. I don't know if it was Brie or Nikki. They said there's a specific difference between being in shape and being in wrestling shape.
Right.
Obviously, John Cena is super in shape. He's jacked. I mean, the whole nine. I don't think he has been in the ring really much until WrestleMania and obviously until now. This is going to be hard to carry for the remainder of the reign. And what's funny is that we're now in a new era, the whole Paul Levesque era. I think he just may end up pivoting totally and saying, all right, let's pull the plug on this project. FYI, we're going to have an episode about this. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it I'll give it a C. I'm very tempted to give it a C minus, but I'll just go ahead and give this a C. This was super slow. The R-Truth running out made no sense. They kind of semi-teased it, but not really for him being a Cena supporter, but it didn't, the payoff was not there.
And then at the end, he cuts the music and says, I need competition. I'm like, I think you're your own self's competition because you're struggling against what you're trying to achieve. Apparently they showed, it was after the taping was done, he was walking out and everyone was chanting, "Thank you, Cena." And they said that he kind of gave a little bit of a glimpse of a smile and tears where he wanted to break character so bad, but he didn't. And I'm like, I definitely see them either, if it's not coming, like within the next couple of months, they're going to speed up the process to turn him back face because I don't think it's turning out as well as they thought it would be. And then with the whole after show, he came out and he was very somber and was like, look, I haven't been great in interviews, so I'm going to answer all of your questions instead of just saying no comment or this is for clickbait. And then R-Truth comes back out and he does an attitude adjustment through the table and then leaves. So we didn't get what we wanted. So I'm just like, what are y'all doing? But I know what they're doing, but I'm like, I don't think it's working the way that they wanted it to. Yeah. I don't know.
No, 100%. I'm actually with you. We are not the only ones that think that. But overall, what grade would you give this?
Backlash is tough because it's not one of the big PLEs. So it's like a B kind of thing, a B level pay-per-view. So overall, the matches were pretty good. I'm going to give it like a B.
Yeah, I think a B is fair because, again, there were some fun matches. So overall, you kind of have to balance it out. But I will go ahead and give this a B. Any overall final thoughts?
They did their best. No, I'm happy for the ones that retained. Everyone put on a great show. Yeah, we just wish Randy and Cena deserved better. I'll just say that.
I'm with you. Hopefully they can wrestle again. That's my final thoughts overall.
Yes.
All right, that actually wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts on Backlash? Please DM us at the Chutes and Ladders. Like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Bye, friends.
This has been Chutes and Ladders. Follow us for more content.